Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Necromancer Wizard Cleric multi-class build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. So this is actually very versatile of a class because we get some nice benefits from the Cleric as well as some utility that the Wizard is full of. So we'll be starting as a Cleric as they do have a bit of an easier start. The Cleric's a very underrated class, so with the Cleric we typically want to be focused more so on casting rather than melee attacks. So the subclass that we're going to go with, I have a few choices that I think work best. The Nature Domain is the one that I'm going to go with because we get Shillelagh, which allows us to imbue our club and use Wisdom for the attack rolls. Tempest Domain, probably my favorite overall. It's just strong. It gives you a reaction that does lightning and thunder damage, and you also get some nice spells from this, like Call Lightning, which is really nice because it doesn't take any spell slots after the first time you use it because you can concentrate on and continually call lightning. I also think the War Domain's okay, but we're not going to be doing melee attacks as frequently. I think the Nature Domain starts a little bit stronger, and at level 6 they're able to half any type of magical damage that you take. So the Nature Cleric actually is a very strong start because of Shillelagh, so I would recommend taking this if you're starting out. However, the Tempest Domain is just flat out stronger. It doesn't suit the Necromancer kind of theme as well, but it's lightning, and lightning is extremely powerful in Baldur's Gate 3. So if you want this to be as strong as possible, go Tempest. If not, Nature Domain is still extremely good, but I'm going to take the Tempest because I got a few tricks up my sleeve near the end. As for the cantrips, I would just leave it as Resistance, Guidance, and Sacred Flame. Deity, Selûne has some of the best dialogue options. Now, our stats are kind of funky because we are so multi-attribute dependent because we need Intelligence and Wisdom. So we're going to go 16 Wisdom, take our Intelligence up as high as we can possibly get it. If you're later on in the game, a nice little benefit is you can go with lower Constitution because you're going to have the ability to increase it with the Amulet of Greater Health. So something like this works great if you don't have it. If you don't have the Constitution Amulet, you can shuffle around your points and take Constitution up to like 14. However, if you have the Constitution Amulet, you can actually just dump Constitution and put the rest of the points into your Dexterity. And something like Charisma just for the overall saves. So we can go with something like this. Strength isn't as important as we're not going to be doing melee attacks as much as you think you would. Now, I'll be going through the full leveling guide, and at the end I'll be showing off some gear and how we can do this in combat. So I'll be taking you through like the full combat guide on this. So we got our Channel Divinity charges. The reason that I took this is when we roll lightning or thunder damage, you can use your Channel Divinity to deal maximum damage instead. That is busted. Safe to say, it makes for a really strong build. We're going to use Create Water because this can double our lightning damage. Healing Word is a nice bonus action heal from a distance. Command is great for just crowd control. You can upcast it and target more people. Bless is huge. Always like Bless. And Guiding Bolt's okay. It gives 46 radiant damage, but it gives the next attack roll against it advantage, which is decent early on as you may not have a team that's hitting their hit shots as much, and this can also set up your rogues to do sneak attacks, so that's good. Sanctuary is another really nice one, so you could take off something like Guiding Bolt and take Sanctuary, or you could just wait till the next level. At level 3, we get ourselves another spell slot, and I think Hold Person is a great choice here. We can also take off the Guiding Bolt and take Spiritual Weapon, because Spiritual Weapon is awesome. It gives us the ability to summon in another target, and it's a bonus action, so you can bring this in and it'll help tank hits for your team. So that's its really biggest benefit to us, is giving us survivability. Now, Aid is a really good spell because we can upcast this and heal our entire undead army, or you could have someone sit at your camp and upcast at level 6. So that is another really great option to go with. For our cantrips, take maybe Produce Flame. Not amazing, but it's something. And then we can re-equip our Guiding Bolt and or Sanctuary. For the feat, since we're so multi-attribute dependent, this makes things a little bit tricky, but we could very well just go with an ability score improvement to take our Wisdom up to 18 for a higher spell save DC. It's just a solid one to have. We can also go with a higher intelligence too to prepare for our wizard, but we'll go with that there. Now at level 5, we get ourselves the Destroy Undead, and we get our best spells with Call Lightning and Spirit Guardians. So we also get Sleet Storm to upset concentrations. But Call Lightning is good if you don't have any other spell slots. You can channel this as a concentration and just continually for 10 turns use this. So that's pretty good because it's doubled with Create Water. Now for our spell slots, Glyph of Warding is really great, but we need to take Spirit Guardians. This is the really main reason that we took the Cleric in the first place. Animate Dead, you can take this early on, but we will get it later on. So if you really want to go into this at level 5, take Animate Undead. It's a really good one. Mass Healing Word is also something that we want to take because this gives us ability to heal from a distance and heal all of our team all at once. It doesn't work on undead, so that's just one thing to keep in note. So our healing effects won't help our team out, but that's okay. Now, for our final, we're going to take just 6 levels in Cleric because this gives us the Thunderbolt Strike. So when you deal lightning or thunder damage that is target larger or smaller, you can push them up to 3 meters. That's massive. And then we can also, with our final Cleric spell, you can take back Guiding Bolt or go with Sanctuary. So we're going to go with that for our spells. And now we're going to add in the Wizard. We do get some nice spells. Like we get Ice Storm at level 7, Tempest Cleric, but adding in the Wizard is kind of the move here because we're going to get a lot of extra spell slots. So I would say that taking Ray of Frost and Shocking Grasp is good to take because we have Create Water to double the damage of these. And Bone Chill just fits this build perfectly. So 2d8 necrotic damage, but it prevents the target from healing, and that's the big thing. We could also go with Mage Hand to throw water bottles to set up vulnerabilities. Or we could go with Minor Illusion to group enemies together. Now, for our spells. Shield is honestly one of the best. Increase armor class by 5 whenever we're about to be hit. That can help us with dodging attacks. Magic Missile is guaranteed damage, so I really like this one because it just gives us something that will hit the target. Chromatic Orb allows us to choose what type of damage that we want to deal. Find Familiar is a nice way to tank another hit, and kind of fits with the Necromancer build. I also think that Tash's Hideous Laughter is a pretty solid level 1 spell to take. And then Longstrider can increase movement speed, or False Life, which is another Necromancy spell. We could go with that if you'd like. Or Witch Bolt, not the most amazing spell, but Ice Knife even. One of these 3. We're not going to use all these spells anyway, so we'll go with something like that. The nice thing about Chromatic Orb is you can upcast it and change the damage type. Now, we're obviously going with the Necromancer Wizard. This gives us Grim Harvest. So, once per turn, when you kill a creature with a spell, you regain hit points equal to twice the spell's level, 3 times as much if it's a Necromancy spell, which, Circle of Death, level 6. That's 18 health. And we got a staff that lets us cast it every turn. It gets broken, and I'll be showing you that. Now, for our extra spells, Grease and Ice Knife are decent to take, and we'll take False Life's not bad, giving ourselves temporary health, I guess. That's just a little bit extra survivability. It's a Necromancer spell, so it makes sense on this build. Now, for our extra spells, Misty Step is huge. I highly recommend always having Misty Step, because it's nice to have that kind of get out of jail free. And then also Darkness is a really great spell. Can blind and heavily obscure targets within, so it can be great for crowd control. Cloud of Daggers is cool because you can throw a bunch of poison bottles on the ground, then use this to break it and hit the target with them. Melf's Acid Arrow is okay. It deals acid damage, which is okay damage type, but I think Scorching Ray is good if you want to have a spell attack roll. So we're going to take off those and put on Misty Step and our Scorching Ray. And then for our next level, we can take ourselves a ability score improvement, which will increase the amount of spells that we can prepare. So Minor Illusion there. And then the spells, since we do have some from the Cleric that overlap, it's actually kind of nice. So Mirror Image is nice for +9 armor class. It loses 1 stack of 3 every time you get hit. And we'll take Darkness there. And then throw on Darkness, because that's a really great spell. And then take our Intelligence up with our Feat, ability score improvement. There's some other options. Like you could go with like Heavy Armor Master, which will reduce your non-magical damage by 3 while wearing heavy armor if you want a bit more survivability. Yeah, there's a few options. Ritual spells are decent. I do think it's best just to continue on with what we got here. Spell Sniper can help with critical hits, but I just think that increased intelligence just works best on this build. We're getting close to becoming extremely powerful. So at this level, we can get ourselves haste. I prefer to have haste on like a sorcerer because they can twin it to 2 people and hold concentration for 2 people's haste, which is a little bit better than just 1. Counterspell is kind of like the essential wizard spell. And then Fireball and Lightning Bolt are 2 great damage sources, so we can take those. Vampiric Touch is a healing necromancy spell, which does fit the theme, but you have to get up close. It's not as good as some of the other options, so we can go with Lightning Bolt. Now, you can learn any of these from Scroll, so don't fret. If you didn't take that, you can learn it and have it forever. So, Lightning Bolt just works well with this build. And we'll take our Counterspell and our Lightning Bolt there. So, what makes this build incredible is we got one of the best damage types, but we also get a bunch of summons. So, Undead for All. So, when we use Animate Dead, you raise an additional corpse. So, we get 2 Undead for the price of 1. Woohoo! Really great. And Creatures with Animate Dead have additional health points equal to your wizard level, and your proficiency bonus is added to their damage. So a nice +4 to their damage. We also get a free Animate Dead spell, so that's why I said you don't want to take it earlier as the cleric, because we're going to get it anyway. Fireball, solid spell. Fear is also really good. Targets drop everything, so they drop their weapon, you can pick it up, and they get disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. Haste is awesome. I'm going to take it. It's just good. So we'll go with that there for our spells. Now, getting into the final bits of this, I'll be showing you the gear one first. So we can learn scrolls. The nice thing is we can learn up to level 6 spells from scrolls too. So I like the Boots of Stormy Clamor to stack 2 turns reverberation on targets, and we can get that pretty easily with our spell attacks. And if not, you can go with the evasive shoes. You get +1 armor class. That gives us a 26. So we get 20 from our armor, all incoming damage reduced by 2. We also get resistance and blade ward, which gives us half physical damage from piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing, as well as 1d4 increase to our saving throws. I went with the Circle of Bones for the helmet. This gives all undead within 6 meters become resistant to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing. Plus you get a free cast of Create Undead, so that is a nice thing. Or Animate Dead, I should say. We also got a ring that gives us a free Create Undead, so we get both the level 6 version and the level 3 version. That is incredible. So without having to waste our spell slot on a level 6 Necromancy spell, we can get it for free, and this doubles our spell, or doubles the amount of summons that we get. However, you can take that off if you don't find that you use this. You get it from Balthazar in Act 2, so it's pretty easy to get. The Helm of Baldur is also a great choice, because I can take our armor class up to 27. I like the Ring of Protection for the +1 armor class. If you don't have this, that's okay. There's rings like the Band of the... I guess they're not going to do many weapon attacks, but there's some others. There's a lot of rings in this game that actually do work well on this build. So, yeah, I would recommend going with the Ring of Protection if you got it, but being able to see in the dark is pretty good. Additional 2 health points every time you heal a creature is okay, because we do get the extra healing from being a cleric. Callous Glow Ring deals additional damage to targets that are illuminated. I also like using the Coruscation Ring, so when the wearer deals spell damage while illuminated by a light source, they also inflict Radiating Orb on the target for 2 turns. So we can even just equip this, which will give us glowing. This also kind of glows, even though it doesn't really give us the glow, but this is the best weapon, I would say, for a Necromancer. So it deals additional necrotic damage. You're not going to hit people with it often, unless you're really out of luck, but we get heightened necromancy, so creatures have disadvantage on saving throws against your necromancy spells. That's huge. We also get the Life Essence Harvest, so when the wielder kills a hostile target with a spell, they greedily absorb its life energy and get life essence until their next long rest. So that lets us cast Circle of Death, kill a target, get a free cast of Circle of Death, and continue on with that. It's very powerful. So I'm also using Viconia's Walking Fortress. This is just a really great shield with lots of benefits. So there's the full build, also the Amulet of Greater Health, which will give us 129 health. Now, I can't summon in any summons because I don't have any dead bodies around, but you can just pretend that. Now, the nice thing is we can learn these scrolls. So we can learn Cloud Kill, which is a really great one. Circle of Death being our bread and butter best spell. Cone of Cold's pretty great too. We already got Fireball and Lightning Bolt, but you can learn whatever you got from scrolls, so that is huge. You can also use the Mark of Heshkir if you want for Chain Lightning. I think I might have a Chain Lightning scroll in my chest here, or maybe Gale has it, because having Chain Lightning is also a really nice spell to have. There is scrolls for it. They're just a little bit harder to come by, so you can also get cantrips from scrolls, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I can't find it there, so yeah, Chain Lightning would be a really solid option, but basically what we want to do, I guess I didn't talk about my gloves, so I also have the Gemini glove, so whenever you target with a cantrip, you can target a second target as well, so pretty nice. Now, for the build, the best way about going about this would be to start with our Create Water, because that gives us just the ability to deal double damage. I guess I'll go to prepare our spells here. So the Cleric, we got our Create Water there prepared. And for the Wizard, we can take off some of these spells. We want to have Circle of Death on there. We want to have Cloud Kill, because Cloud Kill won't actually hurt your undead. You can do this. It does 5d8 poison damage. So you'll hit them for that, upwards of 40 damage. And then at the start of their turn, the enemies take damage in it. So they'll take it again. And then you can move it on your next turn, and then they can take the damage again. So Cloud Kill is actually really good. Underrated, because not a lot of people use poison damage, but on a Necromancer build, this doesn't hurt your undead. So you can just keep spamming Cloud Kill and take out enemies that way. Circle of Death is really good too because it won't hurt your undead, so that is really great. Plus you get the heightened necromancy on it, so solid. Also, I really loved having Cone of Cold. I think that's just a really great spell to have because if you have Create Water set up, this allows you to just blast targets. So what's nice about Create Water is you can upcast it to hit extra targets, so you can make a larger area there. So that's Create Water to set up damage, and then we'll just blast him with a Cone of Cold. So move up a little bit, and then hit him with the Cone of Cold. So Cone of Cold is huge damage. And you can see 72 damage, 34, and you knock everyone prone. Another nice benefit is Lightning Bolt will be doubled from Create Water. So another thing with the Tempest Cleric is our Destructive Wrath. So when you roll lightning or thunder damage, you can use your Channel Divinity to deal maximum damage instead. So goodbye, everyone. 96 damage, 48, 48, 48. We took out Jaheira. Minsk is almost dead. We almost took out Halsin. So Lightning Bolt is kind of a good damage option as well as Call Lightning because we have 2 Channel Divinity charges allowing us to blast them with that. But other than that, the next choice for damage is our Circle of Death. So you can see how nuclear big that the hitbox for Circle of Death is. Yeah, so if we do it on, or I guess we'll go for Halsin there. Circle of Death, boom. We took them out. We get ourselves... It might not actually give us the, yeah, since it's a teammate, we don't get our bonus, because we could continue to cast it with the Life Essence Harvest. Kills a hostile creature. Since it's not a hostile creature, it doesn't show the true effect. But if you were to get that kill, let's say that wasn't a teammate, we'd be able to cast this again. It would regain it would give us like a level 6 spell slot again. So, yeah, whenever you do that against a hostile target, the damage is absolutely massive. So, highly recommend it. Cloud Kill is our other big damage option because it hits for pretty decent damage. But then at the start of their turn, they also will take damage from it, and then we can move it too. So that's really good. And it blinds targets, so that's also great. Call Lightning is another one that we can use because this is also another concentration, and we can use the Destructive Wrath to hit for 30. Shadowheart has resistance, so she only took 15, but 30 damage. Plus, we're stacking Radiating Orbs because we are technically illuminated, so that's really nice. Will's getting blasted around. The beautiful thing about this is our Call Lightning can continue to knock people flying around because we get the pushback on attack, so that is huge. Very good damage, and we're just continue to keep pushing people around with it. And we also got Spirit Guardians, Necrotic or Radiant. Radiant damage typically is a lot better than Necrotic, so go with the Radiant for most uses would be best with that. And then we can also do our nice, good old-fashioned Chromatic Orb and upcast it for a maximum amount of damage there. So that's the 3 damage knockback's pretty nice because you can knock people off cliffs with that. We also got our Chain Lightning doing tons of damage, so huge pushback, huge amounts of damage. This build is absolutely crazy, and you can do a whole lot of fun shenanigans with it, so I love being able to play as a Necromancer. This isn't even talking about summons, but once you start taking out people, you can just start popping up your undeads. Unfortunately, it won't let me do that on the teammates because they're not considered hostile targets, but we got lots of good options. Like even pushback from the wind is nice because it'll give us off balance on targets, but lots of damage options. The nice thing about our lightning spells is we can deal maximum amounts of damage with them, so that's kind of a nice option for damage. And we can also regain a spell slot, so we ran out of spells, but now we can keep on blasting with something like Call Lightning. This is going to be our really great option once we run out of spell slots, because it hits in a decent area, but you can keep spamming it. That's the beauty of it. Typically, we'd want to be spamming our... you want to keep spamming Circle of Death, because you'll get that from taking out targets with a... Oh, she's healing herself a bunch. Oh yeah, it's so funny. She keeps healing. They both keep healing themselves. I should have went over after them. But we can keep pushing them back with this, which is so much fun. But yeah, Circle of Death will be our main source of damage because that gives us the ability to hit with a high damaging spell continually. But yeah, there we go. They keep healing themselves. We won't be able to take them out. But yeah, that is a very powerful Necromancer Wizard Cleric build guide for in Baldur's Gate 3. If you found this video useful, please hit that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.